YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back, and today I'm breaking down my bracket round by round for you guys. If you're new to the channel, we're football guys here. We cover the NFL fully. We got a big week ahead here at free agency and probably a lot of trades as well. So we'll have you guys covered. Head over our channel if you like what you see. Much appreciated if you can like, subscribe, turn notifications on. We got you guys covered. Always recommend following our Twitter too. Any link you're interested in clicking, pin in the comments section. Let's go on to my bracket that I'll go game by game here. Using this ESPN tournament challenge, I can create a pool so everyone can join as well. But starting at the top, number one overall seed is Alabama, rightfully so. I'm gonna go with the Crimson Tide there. Maryland, West Virginia. A lot of these 8-9 seem to be pretty good. They're pretty tough. This one, I mean, they're all tough, but I'm a little more confident with this one with Maryland. I think they're the better basketball team. San Diego State, the 5-12s versus Charleston. Charleston is lights out shooting the basketball. It's a very solid team. Got to go with some 12/5 upsets. I'm going to take Charleston on that one. Virginia and Furman. I've seen people picking Furman in this one. Yeah, Virginia's either that team that's going to go on a run or get upset right away. That's kind of how I view them. A defensive team, if they're just, super cold shooting and their defense, or mainly if their opponent is just on, there's just really nothing stopping the shots. They're just all buckets. That's how you beat them. And Furman maybe could be that team. I guess I suppose I can understand why people are kind of going for that, but I guess I don't know enough about Furman this year. But I'm going to go Virginia. I think their defense will win them this game. Furman's just not used to seeing that defense there. I mean, they can score, but they have not played that competition. Creighton, NC State, two solid teams. I feel like they're closer than the 6 and 11, like the seeding. Somewhat recently got to see NC State. I like what I saw there. I'm gonna go with the upset on that one as well. I'm gonna take NC State. Gonna go Baylor in the 3-14. I took Missouri over Utah State in that one. I was impressed with them against Tennessee. Tennessee is missing their point guard, but Missouri, and I'll take Arizona in this one with over Princeton. Yep, 2-15. I got the number one seed in the East and Purdue, Memphis, and Florida Atlantic. This is one of those really good 8-9 matchups that I'm actually a little disappointed about. I'm disappointed these two teams at the face in the first round because I think they're both better than their seedings, their seeds. They're both probably 7 seeds, really, or maybe Memphis 7, FAU 8. So a little disappointed about this one. They both could. I mean, FAU was lights out this year. What, the 3 losses? Memphis just beat Houston in the AAC title game, which is huge, and they beat them somewhat convincingly too. So this is a tough matchup. Either one, it's not going to be super easy for Purdue in the second round. That's maybe a tough draw there. I'm going to be a little more confident with Memphis in this one, but that's a game that can go either way. But coming off that win against Houston's huge. Duke and Oral Roberts, this is where it gets really interesting because I kind of predetermined, everyone probably does this, before the brackets come out, like, I like this team making it this far. I got like this team as an upset team. So I kind of predetermined that Oral Roberts was going to be a team that I have winning at least one round here. Probably no more than 2, but they get Duke, who I think is a pretty damn good 5 seed. That's a tough game, a tough matchup. So this one's extremely tough for me right now. Duke's obviously the better basketball team. Oral Roberts is pretty damn good though, even better from their run in the past. What I learned in the past is my original gut, feelings end up being my best predictions, and sometimes I regret not sticking to them. So I'm going to go with Oral Roberts on that upset. It could happen, 12-5 there. And then Tennessee, Louisiana. Tennessee is missing. They're not playing as well right now because they're missing their point guard, ACL tear. I will take Louisiana. A lot of people are very confident with that one too. So we're going to have a 12-13 matchup in the next round. So that should be pretty fun. Kentucky, Providence, another 6 versus 11. I think is just super tight, super close. I'm gonna go Kentucky on this one. I think that can go either way. But both teams, either one, I think put up a good fight with what I have as Kansas State in the next round. Michigan State, USC. Michigan State was extremely disappointing in that Ohio State game, but I'm gonna take them in this one. Marquette's a team that I got to watch a bit recently, and I'm impressed. It feels like Marquette is, in a way, kind of like back. I remember growing up, Marquette was always pretty damn dangerous, like pretty damn fun to watch, and it feels like they're pretty close to back or maybe back. So this is a team that can definitely make a run. I will take them over Vermont. Vermont's always sneaky though, but let's move over to the West, and then we'll go up to the top part of this side here. I will take Kansas, defending champs there. Arkansas, Illinois. We saw Arkansas play some really good ball last year. Illinois, you're saying they were pretty good last year too. I'm going to go, this is an 8-9 flip of a coin. I'm going to go Illinois in that one. St. Mary's versus VCU. Got another 12-5 upset here. Did I go all 12-5 so far? I think I did. And I was doing this one too. I was feeling pretty good about VCU over St. Mary's too. More confident in that one. St. Mary's is a pretty good ball team though, but I had Charleston and I had Oral Roberts. I'm probably more confident VCU over the other ones. UConn, I know Iona, some people think that could be an upset. I like UConn a lot. TCU versus one of the play-in. We'll go TCU. Tested in the Big 12 feels pretty good right now. Gonzaga over Grand Canyon. I'm going to say what everyone else is saying too is it just feels weird with Gonzaga at the 3 seed. You know, not at the 1, not with all eyes on them, not with all the pressure and all the expectations. I like this for Gonzaga, and a lot of people are saying that as well. I kind of agree. Maybe we're overthinking things a little bit. Northwestern Boise, I will take Northwestern in that one, and I'll take UCLA over Asheville in that 12-15. And I guess we can move that. We can keep that there. We're scrolling up. Houston, tough loss, AAC championship. Been a dominant team all year, though. All around, pretty balanced basketball. I'll take them over Northern Kentucky. Iowa, Auburn, another really good 8-9. These 8-9s are so good. Some of these teams I feel like are better than 8-9, or maybe the 9 feels like 8 and 8 feels like 7. I'm going to go, this game's in Alabama, actually. I'm going to go Auburn on that one. I'm feeling the Tigers over the 8 seed Iowa Hawkeyes there. Miami and Drake. I like Miami. Fast team, shoot pretty damn well. I like Indiana here. Oh, I just realized. All right, we're good. We got it. We got a 5 over a 12. I didn't want to have to do 4 12s over 5s. Already a stretch with maybe a little bit of a stretch. I think all those are realistic. So we had Miami, we have Indiana, which I think that's a really good second round matchup that I'm looking forward to. Iowa State, we'll go with Iowa State. They've had some pretty good games I've seen recently. Xavier, who's had a pretty good season as well, just ran into Marquette in that final. A&M Penn State's a really good game. Penn State made a bit of a run in that Big Ten. There was a run, the Big Ten tournament. A&M, same. They played very well. I feel like both these teams. Penn State, I guess I can understand as a 10 because their record isn't the best, and if they didn't make that run, would they have been out? I always felt all year that they were pretty decent, though. So if they didn't make that run, were they really out? But I understand the 10 seed. I feel like talent-wise or how they play, they're probably better than the 10. The Big Ten could be tough. And A&M feels like they're better than a 7 as well. So some of these first-round matchups I really don't love. I think like these maybe are some teams that both should be moving on to the next round. I'll take A&M. It's a flip of a coin. These are pretty good teams. It really feels like a 6 is playing a 7 in that one. Just based on, I know Penn State doesn't belong anywhere near 7 because of record, but just based on how good they are, I think. And I'll take Texas, who ended that regular season / tourney off pretty damn good, obviously. They've been on a roll recently, like how they play. So that is, we could stay over here on the Midwest for the next round. I'll take Houston and either one, Auburn or Iowa, that they could maybe give Houston a battle. Miami and Indiana. It's funny because these are two teams I kind of like noticed a few weeks ago. I was like, these teams I could see going at least the Sweet 16, making some noise here, and they're gonna play each other in this round. I'm gonna go Miami actually on this one. Just kind of a gut feeling. I'm gonna go Miami over Indiana. Iowa State Xavier, which could be a really, really good game, could go either way. Really like Xavier. They almost feel him back too. Another one of those teams that were pretty good when I was growing up, and they kind of not disappeared, but they weren't as good for a little while. Now they're feeling a little bit back here, kind of like Marquette. I'm going to go Xavier in that one. A&M and Texas. Texas battle here. Two good basketball teams. I just really like the way Texas is playing right now. I will take them. And then we'll go Kansas over Illinois. Kansas should be winning. No matter, I mean, Arkansas, Illinois could be sneaky, but pretty confident with Kansas. VCU and UConn's are really good, and if it's UConn and St. Mary's, pretty good. I'd pick UConn either way, but VCU's a little sneaky, but I do like UConn there. And that'll be tough. Kansas, UConn in the next round. That'd be huge there. TCU, Gonzaga. Yeah, it's like the idea of Gonzaga maybe being slept on a little bit, and maybe not anymore. People are starting to pick them a bit. TCU, another one that could be sneaky. I think that Big 12 is pretty tough, actually. Some of those teams are tested. We'll take Gonzaga, and we'll take UCLA over Northwestern. So a little boring. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 on that side, but that's what I got. Over here on the East, we're gonna go. Yeah, Memphis is gonna be tough. Memphis or Florida Atlantic, but I'm gonna take Purdue. Oral Roberts in Louisiana. That's 12 versus 13. I will take Oral Roberts going to the Sweet 16. Kentucky, Kansas State. This should be good, whether it's Kansas State versus Kentucky or Kansas State versus Providence. I'm actually going to go Kentucky on that one, the 6th seed moving on. And I definitely got Marquette over Michigan State. I really like this Marquette team. Yeah, so that one's a little different. 1-12 and 2-6 for that region. And scrolling up. Okay, there we go. Couldn't figure it out. Alabama, Maryland. I'm going to go with Alabama. Charleston in Virginia. Let's write it out with Charleston here. We're gonna go Charleston on the next round. I like the way they shoot. NC State, Baylor. We're gonna go Baylor in that one. Missouri, Arizona. We're gonna go Arizona. Arizona plays pretty balanced basketball. I had them winning last year, and they disappointed me. Obviously, I thought they had a bit of everything. Speed, bigs underneath in the paint. So they disappointed me a little bit last year. They're gonna do the same thing to me again. That's the question here. So now we are on. Let me center this a little bit. There we go. We are on to the Sweet 16 across the board. Correct? Yes. Alabama. Well, then Alabama. I like Alabama's run. I like their. They're gonna win the first round. No matter if it's Maryland or West Virginia, they should be fine. And then I have Charleston, or even if it's Virginia, Alabama. Maybe Virginia with their defense could maybe give them some issue. I like Alabama. This is an easier run for them. Baylor and Arizona, definitely like Arizona in that one. Not trying to get fooled like last year, but they look like a pretty close to a complete team. Definitely like Houston over Miami. Houston's definitely a team that if they play the wrong team, they can get upset, like Memphis. But Miami, I don't think is that team. If they're on, then they're on. They're pretty speedy. They can shoot, but they don't really present. They're pretty small. They don't really present any big problems for Houston there. So I definitely like Houston on that one. And Xavier, Texas is so good. I like both these teams. I could see either team going to the Final Four. I think the winner of this game, a little bit of a spoiler, I'm going to have the winner of this game going to the Final Four here. And they're both so good. I've been impressed with them. And Texas, I've been a little bit more impressed recently. So I'm gonna go with Texas. When I originally saw the bracket, I'm like, I think Xavier, I'm gonna have him go in the Final Four, but I'm like, Texas is so good, and Houston's really good. Obviously, they're tough. They're gonna be tough. Not gonna be easy to get by them. We'll go with Texas. So Elite Eight, we got Alabama, Arizona, Houston, Texas so far. Purdue and Oral Roberts. Yeah, Purdue. I don't think Oral Roberts. Oral Roberts might lose to Duke in the first round. I'm gonna go Purdue there, and then I'm definitely gonna take Marquette against Kentucky. So I like Purdue and Marquette getting the 1-2 getting there. I think those teams are, and again, there's not all are free wins. Whoever Purdue plays in that second round might be pretty tough, but I like Purdue and Marquette. And then we got Kansas, UConn. I think UConn can be really sneaky. So I like this year. I talk about Marquette giving me some flashbacks. Marquette, Xavier, UConn. These teams are kind of bringing me back a little bit. UConn can be really tough. I'm going to take defending champs Kansas in this one. And Gonzaga and UCLA. UCLA had that injury earlier in the year or during the year. And again, I like Gonzaga where they're at. Like, not being like it's all on them. A little less pressure here. Maybe it means nothing. I'll take Gonzaga on that one. So then we have our Elite Eights. Alabama, Arizona. I like Alabama. And I already kind of said I was going to take Texas. Texas, Houston's going to be a dogfight. I will take Texas. Maybe I'm basing a little bit too much off recent games, which I'm not going to do across the board, but Texas being hot, Houston kind of being a little disappointed in that Memphis game, and maybe there's a game plan out for them, and I think Texas kind of heating up a little bit, just getting going. So Alabama and Texas advance to the Final Four, and then Purdue and Marquette. This is probably the toughest one. Matchup-wise, I guess it's not. The matchup says Purdue with Edey down low. Marquette, their backcourt, I think, is their key. They're fast. They can shoot. I think, yeah, so the matchup says Purdue just because the size and the ability to clean up the glass. I like Marquette so much, though. I'm going to go matchup. I'm going to go Purdue. That's just... having maybe the most dominant big definitely helps in a tournament like this. Obviously, in the tournament, I like Marquette though. I can see either team winning it all. I could see them either winning it all. Kansas Gonzaga, Kansas they might not get by UConn. Before that, I think they'll get to that point for sure. And I have them against UConn, but that's kind of the one time I think maybe they can't get by. And then Gonzaga, UCLA. If UCLA was fully healthy, I'd definitely have them. Maybe some tougher tasks there. I could see Gonzaga on that run just because now when it's not expected, it's one of those situations. But I'm gonna go with Kansas. I think they're just better, pretty much. So then Final Four. We got 3 1s and a 2. I don't love that really, but that's what we got. We had some upsets along the way. That's what happens when there's kind of like too many upsets, though. It kind of starts to thin out. Like Charleston ends up being against Alabama. Like you expect Alabama to win that. Purdue versus Oral Roberts. But I almost want to say it's kind of wide open, but I really think about it, there's some dominant teams. Like Alabama's just dominant. Because the last few years they've been really good, but they've been like lights out shooting, but then they were missing. Bigs or just, rebounding or, playing tight on defense. And now they're kind of balanced and Purdue's dominant. I can see Marquette up here in the Final Four. Arizona, I could see. They let me down last year, so I don't know. I could see Houston, Texas, Xavier, up, here, Gonzaga, UCLA. Could see those things, those teams. Alabama and Purdue, and Texas and Kansas. Alabama, Purdue, I like Alabama in the matchup. This could be Marquette versus Alabama. I think Marquette. If it was Marquette, Alabama, I'd take Marquette, actually. I'd take Marquette over Alabama. I think they would outscore them in that battle. If you're going to win, you're going to have to outscore your opponent. But in probably a high-scoring game is what I'm going to say. And I almost went Marquette with this game right here, and I would probably take Marquette over Alabama, but Alabama, Purdue is what I have, and I'm gonna take Alabama. I think the one thing I noticed when Alabama kind of struggles, they're a little sloppy with the ball, turn it over a little bit, and Purdue, I've noticed they don't really I feel like they're not causing a whole lot of turnovers. So anything can happen in one game here, but that's kind of that one thing that tells me, but Purdue could dominate, in the paint with Edey, but Alabama, I can see them just being on the money, shooting lights out like they do. I'll take Alabama. And then Texas, Kansas, based off the last very recent 2 matchups between the two, one was in the Big 12 championship, Texas has their number. Like Texas is a problem for Kansas. It looks like Kansas can't beat them anymore. That's what it looks like. Just pretty dominant. 20-point victory the last game. Last game of the year we saw it too. Not 20 points, but it was up there. So everything points towards Texas, but I'm actually going to take Kansas. I think that, let's say third time's a charm, but it's the 4th time they're playing them. They beat them in the first meeting. Sometimes it's how it goes. Maybe a better game plan this time around for Kansas. I really like the way Texas is playing, though, and they have a matchup problem for Kansas, but I'm still going to go Kansas, just sometimes how it goes. And I'm going to go I'm going to go with Kansas on the back-to-back here. I'm going to take them over Alabama. And the question of Alabama, is there a distraction? They're not really playing like it right now, but in the back of our minds, you got to think, is there something in the back of their minds, with that whole situation? But, yeah, that's my pick. It's tough to pick this year. It's tough because, even right here, I mean, like Texas keeps beating in dominant fashion Kansas. So if it's Texas versus Alabama, I'd probably take Alabama on that one. I'd probably take Alabama, but I took Kansas here. If it's Purdue, Kansas, I'd probably still take Kansas. Yeah, if like I said, if I had Marquette, which is the toughest game to pick leading up to the Final Four, I almost went Marquette here, but the matchup says Purdue, I think. But if it's Marquette, I have Marquette over Kansas. I think Marquette could be Kansas. That'd be a pretty good matchup. That'd be tough though. I don't know who I'd pick. It's not my actual prediction, so I probably lean Kansas still. But yeah, that's what I got. Alabama. Honestly, Alabama's probably the best team. They shoot the ball well. I mean, they've added so much to their game from we saw them kind of getting better and better over the years, but they're missing this, they're missing that, and they've kind of added a bit more. They're the number one overall seed, and for a reason. They do feel like the best team. It's just, is there going to be any type of distraction? Are they going to be good in this long-term tournament setting here? Can Kansas, having that experience? I usually like picking teams coming off and having momentum coming off that championship win, though, and then Kansas getting embarrassed against Texas is pretty tough. So this is a little different for me, but yeah, I kind of had a feeling about the back-to-back here with the Jayhawks, so I'm going to stick to it. But as you can tell, I have a few teams that I can see. The teams I have in the Final Four, I really like Marquette. I've said a lot. And then Xavier, like them a lot. I mean, Houston could definitely do it. If Xavier beats Texas, I was probably going to have them winning against Houston too, and then they'd be in the Final Four. I don't know if they get by that game, though, into the championship. Yeah, that's my predictions. So there you have it. Let me know who you guys' Final Four is in the comments. Looking forward to seeing those. Go over our channel if you like football. We got you guys covered with the NFL. If you enjoy it, like, subscribe, turn notifications on. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. That's going to do it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.